Leo's insights are presented to challenge, inform, and encourage you in your quest to break free from school-based approaches to education. Building upon a foundation of unschooling, we sincerely hope these insights help you to consider how education can be truly unlimited.
I'm sure you've already been told that things are not always as they seem. This is true. We have all experienced situations where we have had to seriously change things in order to accommodate a new order. Life is full of these kinds of surprises. For instance, we likely have all been disappointed when we hear politicians say, "We are all in this together," then proceed to live as though we doesn't include them. And who can deny being stunned by the actions of someone we valued and trusted as a friend when he or she does something that clearly shows they had bigger priorities than ourselves? Those of you who have been closely following the recent activities of the Alberta Home Education Association, that is AHEA, may have been perplexed by the recent announcement regarding the creation of a paid leadership position. With much fanfare, the announcement read, AHEA's first executive director, an investment in our future. It contained a bit of information and a lot of hand-picked congratulatory accolades solicited from some big shots. It is easy enough to understand what the first part of the announcement is saying, but the second part is rather vague. Whose future is getting this investment? Could it be that while we are to believe it is the home educating community's future that will be the recipients of this investment, is it possible that AHEA or the person now filling the role of executive director will be the major benefactors? Whether we are delighted, indifferent, or concerned regarding this newly created position, there are a few things that just don't add up. Last fall, the individual now known as the executive director of the province undertook a provincial campaign to speak to the home education community. The meetings she organized were often poorly attended, but that did not deter the enthusiasm of the presenter. The agenda was fairly consistent and involved four general messages. Look at what AHEA has done, with special mention of notification only in the new education funding arrangements. Imagine where home education would be without AHEA. All home educators should join as members, and we desperately need your financial assistance or we will cease to exist. This campaign was not only successful in keeping AHEA from vanishing into oblivion, but apparently it gained enough support and donations to justify the creation of a new position with an impressive title that just happened to be filled by the presenter who had blitzed the province. I must admit, it was masterfully planned, if one can be so bold as to assume there was a plan. First, make some noise about helping the home educating community by convincing the government to create a largely purposeless option for notification only. Follow that up quickly with an announcement about the normalization of bad accounting and stewardship. Then blitz the province to demonstrate how dedicated and important and Christian AHEA is. Finally, be sure to solicit membership and donations to ensure the continuation of this home education advocacy. And guess what? Now you have enough money to be hired as the executive director. Is this an example of leadership or manipulation? Remember, not everything is as it seems. Regarding the claim that AHEA is Christian, I must admit my cynicism questions whether this is a true conviction or simply a marketing ploy to attract the support of the majority of home educators in this province who subscribe to this worldview. Again, not everything is as it seems. Now, before I completely disavow myself of this latest development, I want to once again state that I do not believe the people involved in this activity are operating with evil intent, even if one can question the ethics employed. Still, I would be remiss if I did not state that AHEA does have a function. It is just that it often seems to forget what that function actually is and how to best fulfill it. What concerns me is when it extends beyond its legitimate boundaries into areas it knows nothing about or has no business in an attempt to prove its relevancy. AHEA is a society that exists at the behest of its membership, not that of the provincial home education community. There are other agencies also claiming to represent the home educating people of this province, such as the Alberta Homeschooling Association. What percentage of the overall provincial home education community are actually members of AHEA? And of these, how many believe or know of AHEA's purpose? Personally, I hear they, that is AHEA, do not represent me often, in spite of the fact that a relatively small percentage of the home educating community are members of this organization. Are we not all universally affected when AHEA convinces the government it speaks on behalf of all home educators? Not that I disagree with AHEA's insistence on being a Christian organization, but as soon as it does so, does it not alienate a significant percentage of the home educators it claims to be representing? And while AHEA believes in the individual God-given responsibility of parents to do what is in the best interest of our children and appreciate our Section 2 Charter of Rights to our freedom of peaceful assembly and association, is it not confusing directives? Surely AHEA must know it is not God who wrote the charter. AHEA is now able to support a new position with an impressive title. However, will this truly be as advantageous for home educators as it will be for AHEA, and particularly the individual who just happens to occupy the new position? Furthermore, will this person be leading or following when aligning with other players of the home education industry? Is the new executive director able to see the potential long-term repercussions of successes? Personally, I shudder to think, special needs anyone? Now we have an executive director who represents Alberta's home education community. What part of the community is it truly representing when it goes to the government to ask permission to do what God has clearly directed parents to do? Will it be the Bible or the Charter of Rights that will direct the Alberta Home Education Association going forward?
We trust you were blessed by today's presentation. For more helpful information to guide you in your home education journey, please visit educationunlimited.ca and leogaumont.com. Be sure to like us and share us on Facebook.